Thanks so much for that. So here we are trying to present the impact of generative AI, like ChatGPT, on three key macros. The first one is the labor market, the second one is productivity, and the third one is global GDP. And this is as per a Goldman Sachs report. So let me start with some stats on the labor market. Now, they're saying roughly 2/3 of the current jobs are exposed to some degree of AI automation in EU and in US. There are some professions where a large part of the work can be automated. For instance, 46% of the legal administrative work, or 44% of the legal work can be automated. But then there are some professions which are physically intensive, like construction or maintenance, or occupations for which a significant share of the workers' time, employees' time, is spent outdoors performing physical labor, and these cannot be automated by AI. Now, according to Goldman Sachs, generative AI could substitute about 25% of the current work in US and EU and expose the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs to automation. Now, that sounds a bit worrying. But here is the good news. Historically, worker displacement due to technology or automation has often been offset by the creation of new jobs and the emergence of new occupations. So generative AI, according to them, is likely to complement and not completely substitute the workforce. Now let's move on to the impact on the economy. The headline here is that Goldman Sachs estimates AI could eventually increase annual global GDP by 7% over the next 10 years. And this will be aided by an increase in productivity. So what will drive the productivity boom? 1, significant labor cost savings. 2, there will be new jobs which will be created. And 3, higher productivity for the workers who have not been displaced, who have not lost their jobs. So generative AI, according to them, can raise annual US labor productivity growth by about 1.5% over a 10-year period. But the caveat here is the overall impact on the economy will depend on the capability and the adoption timeline. When does this become mainstream? And currently, both those parameters are a bit uncertain. Back to you.
All right, Reema, thanks a lot for taking us through those very